What is happening? So all test dot feature. So in all test dot feature file, only at the rate smoke test got executed. Okay. So this other scenario, it's not executed. So tags is equal to, we can specify like this. Suppose if you are specifying at the rate smoke test comma at the rate regression test. So it could be either smoke test or regression test group of scenarios will be executed. Suppose if you specify like tilde symbol, where is that tilde symbol at the rate regression test. Okay, so it will be executed at the rate smoke test will be executed, but regression test
Except
not be.
regression.
Okay, 1 second. Syntax error. Delete this topic. Okay. So whenever you are executing regression, okay. So make sure the test runner dot 3.java class file. Yesterday I had shared the project, right? Cucumber runner class file. Where is that? Cucumber runner class file. Okay, test. So use this kind of syntax only. Whenever you want to execute specific runner class file, you can use, instead of using Cucumber runner test class, you can use the runner class file like this. Okay. And I want to tell you one more important. Suppose you did not mention any of the feature file path. You did not mention any of the feature file path. So SRC test resources features folders contains all these feature files, right? So all feature files will be executed. Okay. So if you don't mention any of the feature file and you specified only feature file path, so all these scenarios will be executed. And if you want to execute a specific batch file, okay, you can create a folder, new other file folder. and create the folder name as features one, or you can mention customer or whatever module it is. Just click on finish. Okay, and and you can keep the related scenarios in that. Control C and keep it. So now SRC test resources under customer module, you have those feature files. So if you mention customer, only customer related, all feature files will be executed. So under customer, if you want to execute specific feature file, you have to specify slash and that feature file name. Got the point, everyone? So like this, we can execute specific feature file folders like that. Okay, now let's jump into the new concept. New concept, cucumber hooks concept. Cucumber hooks. Cucumber hooks concept. Where is that project? All right. So in this feature file, how many scenarios are there right now? 2 scenarios. Okay. In this feature file, I am having 2 scenarios. So we know prior to scenario, which section it is executing. Previously, we observed prior to scenario, background key steps got executed. Okay. So prior to every scenario, background key steps got executed. Prior to background key, can we execute any of the code? What is the concept? So prior to every scenario, background key steps are executed. Similarly, so once you run a runner class file, if you go to runner class file, see these are the unimplemented methods got generated, and I had copied and pasted. And I have written this is the first step, this is the second step, this is the third step. And I have created a Java class file, public class hooks.java class file. So how I have created, just I need to navigate to class file and hooks1.java class file and click on finish. So like this, I have created a hooks.java class file. In this one, I have written a method name as public void. You can give method name whatever you want here. And here also you can give method name whatever you want. But prior to that, if you have to write @ before annotation tag. And prior to this method name, you can write suppose. So I am giving the method name as before underscore scenario and after underscore scenario. So you can give method name whatever you want. And there are 2 methods in this hooks.java class file. One is @ before annotation tag, and another one is @ after annotation tag. Okay, let's go to that background key steps. So like this, I am having my feature file. Okay, so let me run this runner class file, cucumber runner class file. So when I will execute my runner class file, see now it contains, one second. So now it contains, okay, now it contains this one, and I'm going back to my runner class file. So in this runner class file, I mentioned my features file folder path. If I want to execute exact one, I have to write class path dot feature slash, I have to mention. Anyway, there is only one feature file and I'm writing nationality dot feature file only. So let me execute my runner class file. Okay. Run as unit test. So background key, there is unimplemented step is there, user launch Chrome browser. This is the method got generated. Okay. So let me copy this method. And I am going back to my hooks step definition dot Java class file. Hooks underscore steps means it is my step definition dot Java class. Background key steps. Launch Chrome browser. Okay, and I'm saving my this one. So now let's come back to my runner class file, and I'm going to run my runner class file now. So now let's understand. See, whenever this will run before the scenario. So means which of the which of the step it's got executed? One second. In hooks.java class file, first this will run before the scenario. So prior to scenario, prior to background key, this is the step got executed. And after that, user launch Chrome browser, this is the step got executed. And after that, these are the three steps got executed. Scenario steps got executed. And after that, this will run after the scenario, this is got executed. So means in the first, so prior to this one, background key step executed. Prior to background key also, which step got executed? At the rate before hook. At the rate before hook part executed. Similarly, prior to this scenario, okay, prior to this scenario, background key steps got executed. Let's understand this one. See, this will run before the scenario, at the rate before hook got executed. And after that, user launch Chrome browser, okay. And after that, these are the steps got executed. And this will run after the hook scenario. Got the point? So now we can define. So at the rate before and at the rate after, we can call it as a hook. Hook means it is a common snippet of code. Hook means it is a common snippet of code. It is executing for every scenario. Okay. First, before hook is executing. After that, background key steps are executing. After that, scenario steps are executing. After that, at the rate after hook is executing. So in the interviews, people are asking, what is the order of the execution when there are hooks? First, which part is executing? Hooks part is executing. And after that, background key steps are executing. After background key, scenario steps got executed. After that, at the rate after hook is got executed. At the rate after hook is executed. So same order for the second scenario also. First, at the rate before hook got executed and background key step executed, scenario steps got executed. So we can define hooks like hooks is a common snippet of code. It will be executed prior and after for every scenario. We can define like this. Hooks is a common snippet of code. It will be executed prior and after for every scenario. So in the interview question, the interviewer is asking a question, hook is executed prior to background or after executing background? That is the question they are asking. But we have to tell Prior to background, at the rate before hook will be executed. After executing the scenario steps, finally at the rate after hook will be executed. Okay, right. So now let's understand when we will go and use hooks part in real time, when we are going to use hooks. See, starting a web driver means user launch Chrome browser. Is this step common or not for every scenario? So driver is equal to new Chrome driver. I can write it in the at the rate before hook. And user launch application URL. So that part I can write it in the background key. Okay. So that part I can write it in the background key. And so launching of starting a web driver, launching of a Chrome browser, such things we can write in at the rate before hook. So like setting up database connections, setting up test data, setting up browser cookies, navigate to certain page or anything before the test. So and in the at the rate after hook, generally once after performing certain scenarios, we will close the browser, right? So driver dot close at the rate after hook. So whenever you will write driver dot quit or driver dot close, the browser will be closed. So such things, killing the web driver, closing the database connections, clearing the test data, clearing the browser cookies, log out from the application. So printing reports on logs, take screenshots on error or anything after the test. So such things we can write it in at the rate after hook. So means that is a common functionality we are defining in the at the rate before or at the rate after. So the common functionality is launching of Chrome browser is common for every scenario. Such thing we are writing in the at the rate before. And driver dot close or driver dot quit, we can write such functionality in the at the rate after hook. Okay. So in such cases, we will use hooks concept. So hooks is a common snippet of code. It will be executed prior and after for every scenario. Hooks will be executed always prior to background key section. And in hooks, how many types of hooks are there in BDD Cucumber? So that is the point we have to learn. See, just now I had shown you this one at the rate before hook and at the rate after hook. So, so now let's come back to the second one. So this scenario is belongs to which of the group name? This scenario. This scenario is belongs to what is the group name? It is at the rate first. This scenario is belongs to at the rate second, means the group name belongs to second group. And this one is belongs to third group. So I mentioned my tagged name. I mentioned my tagged name in the scenario. Okay. So now let's come back to my step definition.java class file. So there is no changes. All the steps unimplemented methods got implemented. And coming to my hooks.java class, previously we had seen only at the rate before and at the rate after. So now I am writing at the rate before. So at the rate first I have written here. See here. So this hook will be executed only for the first scenario. And at the rate after, so this hook will be applicable only for at the rate first scenario. So prior to scenario, if you want to, so this scenario we can call it as a tagged hook. Tagged hook means for a particular scenario only. Previously, what happened? I did not mention my tagged name in my feature file. Yeah, I did not mention my tagged here. So if I did not mention at the rate first or at the rate second or at the rate test, what is happening? So at the rate before and at the rate after hook got executed. These we can call it as a global hooks. Global hooks will be executed prior and after for every scenario. But if you mentioned tagged hook like this, so the scenario belongs to at the rate first or at the rate second or at the rate third. So if you want to execute a specific code prior to @ first, so you have to write it like this. Okay, this will run only before the first scenario, and @ after, this will run only after the first scenario. Got the point? So like this, the scenarios, we can call this one as a tagged hook. Tagged hook means that particular hook is executing only for the specified tagged scenario. Okay, so like that. So let's understand this will run before the first scenario. So tagged hook got executed first. No, previously global hook got executed. This will run before the first scenario. This is called global hook. Okay, this is called tagged hook, because I mentioned this particular functionality I want to execute. Previously I written only these two. Now this time I have written this one also. So first tagged hook got executed. This will run before the first scenario. So that is got executed. And after that global hook got executed. And after that scenario steps got executed. And after that the scenario will run after the, so @ after scenario got executed. And after that the tagged hook got executed. Understood the order? Everyone understood the order? If there are tagged hooks are there, first tagged hook will be executed first. After that global hook will be executed. After global hook, background key steps will be executed. And after that scenario steps will be executed. And after that global @ after tag will be executed. And finally tagged hook will be executed. Understood the order of the execution? So what is a tagged hook means? A tagged hook will be executed only for particular scenario, before and after. Okay. So previously global hooks are executing for every scenario. That is the problem. So what is the difference between global hook and tagged hook means? Global hooks will be executed for every scenario. Tagged hooks will be executed only the specified scenario. Okay, now let's come back to the second. So this one is a tagged hook, or this one is a tagged hook or a global hook? Tagged hook. This will run only before the second scenario. And after that, global hook got executed and scenario steps got executed. So like that. So if you want to add a particular tagged hook, you have to write it within the parenthesis. You have to write it the tagged name. So before and after. So like this, we can call this one as a tagged hook. So in the interviews, people are asking, what is tagged hook? That particular snippet of code, it will be executed prior and after only for the specified tagged scenario. Okay. Now let's go back to the next third scenario. Common tagged hooks. Guys, please go on mute everyone. Next point is common tagged hooks for multiple scenarios. Common tagged hooks for multiple scenarios. So previously we had seen tagged hooks, right? So now let's understand a small change. So here I mentioned only, so this particular tagged scenario will be executed for first and third. So we can call this one as a common tagged hooks. Common tagged hooks for multiple scenarios. So previously I have written tagged hook only for a particular scenario. So if you want to add common tagged hooks for multiple scenarios, you can write @ first comma @ third. So this one we can call it as a common tagged hooks for multiple scenarios. Got the point? Same thing, you can write it @ after first and third, so that we can. So this particular tagged hook will be executed for first and third. So like that we can use. What the point? Let's see this one. This will run before the first scenario. This will run first. So whenever there is a tagged hook, means common multiple scenarios are there, first global hook got executed. Understood, right? And after that, this part got executed. So just understand the execution of the order. Okay. When there is only single tagged hook, it is got executed first. Okay. When there are common tagged hooks for multiple scenarios, first global hook is taking as the priority. And after that, tagged hook got executed, common tagged hook got executed, and after that scenario steps and same as usual. Okay, so simply we can define where, so in the interviews question, what is hooks, they will ask you, and how to implement that concept. Okay, let's come back to here. Hooks means it is a common snippet of code. Hooks is a common snippet of code. It will be executed prior and after for every scenario. That is called hooks. In hooks, there are three types of hooks. One is global tagged hooks. Global tagged hooks means in the hooks.java class file, we will write @ before annotation tag and @ after annotation tag. And second one is tagged hooks. Tagged hooks means for above the scenario, we can specify that @ tagged group name, and in the hooks.java class file, we will write @ first. We will write @ first tagged hook. Okay, so tagged hook we can write it. So like this we can write it. So like this we can write it. Got the point? So @ before and within the parentheses you have to specify the tagged name. So that particular scenarios only it will be. So in the interviews you have to tell when when you will use hooks. Hooks is a common snippet of code, means can you please, what is the common snippet of code? What is the common functionality? Generally, we will write hooks in launching of Chrome browser, launching of database connection, setting up test data. Okay. Suppose for a few of the test cases, for 5 or 6 scenarios, the login is common, username and password is common for those 5 test scenarios. Let's keep the tagged scenario. Okay. So setting up browser cookies, navigating to certain page is always common. Such common functionality before launching my scenario steps. Let's execute these steps in the @ before annotation tag. So closing of browser. So you have to tell these points. Okay. So now let me share this one. Okay. Okay, so now we understood about the tags. We started recording or not?
Yes, sir, start.
Okay. So we have completed Cucumber hooks as well. So now we have left with one more new concept. So we have left with two more concepts. Cucumber POM and Cucumber page factory model. These are the last concepts in Cucumber. In real time, people will use Cucumber POM or Cucumber page factory model. So most of the cases, all companies, they are using the approach as Cucumber page factory model design pattern. Understood? So now let's discuss the background about page factory model and POM. These things I will update. Okay. So the implementation part I will tell you in tomorrow's class, in the first class. Okay. So there is no second class for today.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, when the manual batch started, manual test batches?
Manual testing classes, it will be started after 3 weeks. Okay. So what is mean by page object model? Okay. So now let's, so these are the two concepts we left in Cucumber. So now I am going to explain about page object model design pattern. So whenever you are automating skill scenario, add skill scenario. So first, which page we are navigating?
Login page.
Login page. And to create a skills record, which page we are navigating? Skills page. Whenever you are doing logout, which page we are navigating? Home page. Generally, we will do from home page, welcome, click and log out operation we can do. So in login page, what operation that we are doing? So we are doing login. Okay.
Login.
The login method we are doing. And in skills page, what operation that we are doing?
Adding.
In home page, what operation that we are doing? Log out.
Logout.
Got to the point? So in login page, we are doing login. In skills page, we are doing add skills. In home page, we are doing logout. Okay, so here login page, login.java class file. So for login page, what I am doing is I am going to create a Java class file called login.java. And for skills page, I'm going to create a Java class file, skills.java class file. Just I'm giving a background. In tomorrow's class, we will see the practical implementation. And for logout, what is the page I'm going to create? Home page.java class file. So total, how many methods are available? So total, how many Java class files I have created?
3.
So one is login.java, skills.java, and home page. Suppose if I want to do home, if I want to create job space, if I want to do add job space, so already login page is common. So what page I need to create? I have to create jobs for job space. I have to create jobs.java class file, which contains a method name as add jobs. What the point? Add jobs. If I want to create nationality record, I have for nationality page,
No, dot.
I have to create nationality.java. Nationality.java, and I have to create a method name called add nationality. So tomorrow, if something related to skills method functionality, if I want to update, I can add one more method as modify skills. So in the same Java class file, if I want to create delete skills, I can add one more method called delete skills. If I want to add search skills, what is the point? Means all skills related methods are available only under skills.java class file like this. Okay, so like this. So if add jobs means modify jobs, delete jobs, search jobs like that. Nationalities means add nationality, modify nationality, delete nationality. So now let's see how to create those Java class files in our project. Okay. Whenever if a project is following, particular page object model design pattern. Okay. If a project is following particular page object model design pattern, so let's create new package and create a package name called pages. What is the point? So you have to create a package under SRC test Java named as pages. Okay. So whether it is page object model design pattern or page factory model design pattern, the package name it creates named as pages. Under these pages, I want to create a Java class files. So let's right click and create a Java class file. Login. Click on finish. So login.java class file got created. If I want to create one more Java class file, let's go to new, click on class, create skills. If I want to click on home page, so let's create, right click, go to new, click on class. So home page got to get. So in login method, what method I told you to write? I have to write a method name as public void login. That's okay. And I told you for login method, what are the input arguments required? Username and password. Okay, let's write username and password. String username, string password. So these we can call it as a local variables. So here you will declare a WebDriver. WebDriver driver is equal to WebDriver. And here you will write driver dot find element by name, username dot send keys, driver dot find element by name, password dot send keys, driver dot find element by login button dot click. Over login page part created successfully. Same thing. Okay. Same thing we can do in skills also. So we can write public void add skills. Okay. So here string skill name, comma skill description. And we will write inside that one, we will declare a import, here we will declare WebDriver driver and all set of driver commands, we will write it here. Okay. Similarly for home page also, we public void logout. Logout, there is no input data, so we no need of any input arguments, local variables at method level. So just we will write driver dot welcome click and driver dot logout click. So that means like this, you have to develop the page class files. Okay. Suppose if you want to develop job space, you have to create a job space. Jobs. So in tomorrow's class, I'm going to tell you very, very important Cucumber POM, Cucumber page object model design pattern. So in the real time, people will follow either Cucumber page object model design pattern or Cucumber page factory model design pattern. Most of the cases in real time, people are nowadays following Cucumber page factory model design pattern. Okay. So now let's, so like this. So here I have to add public void add jobs. So whatever input is required, string job title, string job name, comma, string job description. I can write all the local variables and I can write the method. If I want to write modify jobs, I can write one more method, public void modify jobs. Got the point? So like this. So like this, only the page object model design pattern means every page it contains page specific methods. Okay, the page specific methods we will write it. So in tomorrow's class completely we can finish Cucumber PO. Okay, so that's it for today's class, guys.